my dear students. I hope you are doing well and good. And I found that many of you are doing your assignments with lots and lots of interest, and I'm very delighted to know that. In the previous class, we have learned continuous present tense. In this session, we are going to learn perfect present tense. Without much further ado, let's begin today's session. Perfect present tense will have the same verb auxiliaries that I have taught you in the previous online session. If you want, you may check it out in the school's YouTube channel, the video number 1 of mine. Continuing with the same sentence, he has eaten mangoes. Here we have used verb auxiliary has and the verb form, that is past participle form of verb. Remember, in order to form perfect present tense sentence, you need to learn the regular and irregular verbs, because here we will be giving first preference to the past participle form of verb. In case if it is not present because the verb is regular one, then you need to go for simple past form of the verb. So the first sentence in the perfect present tense is he has eaten mangoes. End it with a full stop. So the sentence description is affirmative, active voice, statement, perfect present tense sentence. Something that is to be noted here is we have used the simple past form of verb, the main verb, and the verb auxiliary. Also we call it, sometimes we call it helping verb. Well, it has got a grammatical term, and that is verb auxiliary. So has is the verb auxiliary we'll be using. Has or have are the verb auxiliaries that we'll be using in the perfect present tense. Second sentence is he has not eaten mangoes. Here, in order to form the negative ones, we need to insert a negative word, that is a negation, not. So the sentence is negative, active voice, statement, perfect present tense sentence. As per the pattern, the third one has to be interrogative one. So the sentence, in order to frame an interrogative sentence, all you need to do is bring the verb auxiliary in the beginning. If you see the first sentence, it has got a verb auxiliary, and that is has. Has needs to be brought in the beginning in order to frame the interrogative sentence. So that's all I have done. It's very simple as snap. Has he eaten mangoes? Here I would like to stress something, that is, whenever you ask a question, at that time you need to have the questioning tone. Intonation also matters. Has he eaten mangoes? So this is affirmative, active voice, interrogative, perfect present tense sentence. The fourth one in the pattern is negative. All you need to do is add not along with the previous sentence, that is, has he not eaten mangoes? End it with a question mark. Question mark needs to be put up because punctuation is very important in any language. So this fourth sentence is negative, active voice, interrogative, perfect present tense. The fifth sentence in the pattern is question tag. I have repeated it plenty of times. Again, I will be repeating it. That is, the golden rule of question tag is if the sentence is affirmative, then tag needs to be a negative one. And if the sentence is negative, then the tag needs to be affirmative one. So the fifth sentence is he has eaten mangoes. You need to insert a comma instead of full stop. Please note this. And then you need to insert the contraction. Contraction is formed from the same verb auxiliary which is used in the sentence, that is has. Hasn't he? And end it with a question mark. And that's all. You have question tag, which is negative, perfect present tense sentence. Then the sixth one is he has not eaten mangoes. The sentence is negative. Instead of full stop, you need to add the comma, and then you need to add the same verb auxiliary. No need to insert any negation or contraction. Has he? And end it with a question mark. The sentence description is question tag, which is affirmative, perfect present tense sentence. Seventh one, that is 7th, 8th, 9th and 10th as per my pattern. You must be well versed by now. That is 7th, 8th, 9th, 10th are passive voice. Passive voice sentences. And the first four, that is sentence number 1, 2, 3, 4, will always be active voice as per my pattern. So the seventh one is, in order to make the passive voice, you need to bring the subject in the end of the sentence and you need to take the object towards the beginning of the sentence. Mangoes are the object and he is the subject. I have also given some table about subject pronoun and object pronoun. So please go through it. If you have any difficulty, you can go through that table as well. You need to learn that table by rote. Like he becomes him, she becomes her, likewise. So here the subject is he. When we send it to the object's place in order to frame the passive voice sentence, you need to use the object pronoun of his counterpart, that is him. So mangoes have been eaten by him. It is affirmative, passive voice, statement, perfect present tense sentence. And the eighth one is mangoes have not been eaten by him, because it has to be a negative one. In order to do that, you need to insert the negative negation not in the sentence. Mangoes have not been eaten by him. Negative, passive voice, statement, perfect present tense sentence. The ninth one in the pipeline is interrogative sentence. Have mangoes been eaten by him? This is very simple. All you need to do is bring the verb auxiliary to the beginning and that's all. You have interrogative, affirmative, passive voice, perfect present tense sentence. All you need to do is bring the verb auxiliary towards the beginning. In the previous sentence, if you could remember, it was mangoes have been eaten by him. And here all I have done is I have brought have to the beginning. Have is the verb auxiliary which I have brought to the beginning in order to frame the interrogative, affirmative, passive voice, perfect present tense sentence. 10th one, the last one in this form of tense, that is negative, passive voice, interrogative, perfect present tense sentence, that is you need to insert not. That's all. Have mangoes not been eaten by him? You need to end it with a question mark, one of the three major punctuation mark. I believe you must be knowing three major punctuations are question mark, exclamatory mark and the full stop. The sentence ends there. Well, before we end this session, I believe that some of you might be confused with when are we supposed to use has and when are we supposed to use have, that is has versus have. I'll tell you, verb auxiliary have. When do we use it? When we have the subject I or we, you or they, at that time you need to use have. And when you have verb auxiliary has, when you have the subject that is he or she or it, at that time you are required to use has verb auxiliary in the sentence. And also, to clarify the doubts furthermore, I have also made a tiny short regular and irregular verbs table. If you see, irregular verbs will have 4 forms. Here there are 5. 1, it is not actually a form, but it is base form of verb and you need to add hidden auxiliary. It contains hidden auxiliary. You need to remember this. That is bite plus s, as per the formula that you might have seen in the grammar books. So first form is base or root form of verb, and then simple past, and then past participle and present participle, that is ing form of verb. In irregular verb, you will have 4 forms of verb. That is, if you take an example of bite, bit. Bite is the base or root form of that verb. Simple past is bit, past participle is bitten, and present participle, that is ing form of verb, is biting. Remember, you should not be confused with ing form of verb with gerunds. Gerunds are something different that I will be explaining in the upcoming videos. Meanwhile, remember, irregular verbs will have 4 forms of verb. You may see the second example, that is break, broke, broken, breaking. Then the third example also is an irregular verb, choose, chose, chosen, choosing. As compared to regular verbs, which will have only three forms. There is laugh, laughed, and laughing. Some people go on to say laugh, laughed, laughed again, and laughing. No, laugh is an irregular verb. It will not have past participle form. It will have only simple past. When you form a passive voice sentence, you need to use en, that is past participle form of verb. First preference should be given to past participle form of verb. In case the main verb is regular one, at that time you need not to use past participle because there is no past participle in a regular verb. At that time, the second preference must be given to simple past form of verb, that is laughed, right? And then present participle form of laugh is laughing. Second example is love, loved, loving, boo, booed, and booming. Please remember this. Irregular verbs will have past participle form, whereas regular verb will not have past participle form. And this is very, very important for the formation of passive voice sentences. So please remember. Thank you.